everything there is to know about Staten Island, but you want the 2026 version. I get it. I get it. Yes, I had my second baby. Yes, he's beautiful, but oh, how I have missed you. I promise I will never leave you again. So apparently, you want to know everything there is to know about Staten Island, but you want the 2026 version. I get it. I get it. The neighborhoods, the trains, the buses, the brand new ferry, the secret spots, basically all the stuff that nobody ever explains the right way. So we did a 2024 one. We're going to update the 2026 one. Mela, should we tell him? Oh wait, she's not here. Because if she was, she'd probably take over the whole show, which actually, that's probably not a bad idea for next video. What do you think? So if you really want to understand Staten Island, the good, the bad, the confusing, the commuter's hacks, all things, this is the video for you. We're going to do a deep dive into the Google's map. And I'm walking you through everything. And yes, we're making this fun because I physically cannot be boring. But before we jump in, do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe, drop your questions and comments in the box below, and welcome back to Keeping You Connected, Staten Island and New Jersey Living. All right, maps coming up, let's go. Now, if you are moving, you need to understand the 4 connections to Staten Island, right? One being the Verrazzano Bridge right here. Let's zoom in. You got 278, which runs through Staten Island, and it connects you from Staten Island to Brooklyn, Dyker Heights, Bay Ridge right here, okay? Let's pull back out a little bit and go up. Right here, we have the 440, which goes from the North Shore of Staten Island right here into Bayonne. Okay, are you with me so far? So that's 2 of the connections. Now, let's keep going. Boom, boom, boom here. Boom. We have 287 that runs through the Goethals Bridge. This is the bridge that's closest to the New Jersey Turnpike. Hey, Al, I want to live by the New Jersey Turnpike. I want to live closer because I work here. Where should I move? Right over here. This should be your section, okay? Very important to know because there are 4 sections, okay? Now, for me and my clientele, this is the most popular. Let's go down right here. We have, again, 440 runs through the whole island. We have the outer bridge crossing. Again, this is the most popular for me and all of my clients because I do a lot of relocating between Staten Island and New Jersey. And this is the main bridge. Now, this is also the only bridge that has an expressway. See this Korean War? That stops in the middle of the island. Well, it's the South Shore, but it does not go through. So you can get on this expressway in the middle of the island and go into Jersey. Another cool fact about the Korean War Expressway is if, let's just zoom in, you see this lot right here? This is a park and ride. So you can actually park your car there, get on the bus, and then go to work, and then get off the bus, get back in your car, and, you know, do whatever you want to do. So that's just a fun fact about this part. Okay, so we did all 4 of the bridges. These 4 bridges are literally going to determine your commute and your lifestyle, right? Because as you see, let's zoom out. They're all different parts of the island. So the outer bridge would be considered the South Shore, right? North, south, east, west. So if we were doing it that way, this would be your north. I'm sorry, that was a lie. This would be your North Shore, South Shore, east down here. So east is by the water. East is the train station, east is Highland Boulevard, and here is your West Shore. That actually brings us to another category. North Shore, we're broken down into 4 sections. North, South, Mid-Island, right? So
we do have a West Shore. Nobody calls it that, but I do have to tell you because you're going to be like, sure. No, you didn't. It's just in there, right? So it's more commercialized. So North, Mid-Island, right here. Mid-Islands and Middle of the Island. And then we have our South Shore, okay? Is everybody with me? And do not forget, any questions you have, my team and I will go over these every 48, between 24 and 72 hours. We will answer any and all of your questions. We're going to be making follow-up videos for each section as well. This, I just want to give you a big overview of 2026 full Staten Island Map Tour. Okay, so now let's talk ferries. Staten Island has the iconic Staten Island Ferry. It is in the North Shore right here. Statue of Liberty. You see these little dots? That is where the ferry goes. Now, we are November 13th, 2025. They are finally, it hasn't happened yet, but it's saying there's a date set and everything to have the New York City Fast Ferry, which is going to be the first ferry that goes from St. George Ferry Terminal into Brooklyn. Okay, I don't know where yet. I think I heard Sunset Park. I'm not sure. Please do not quote me on that. If somebody's actually watching this and knows, or it's, already set and done, I will keep updating the info down below, okay? Also, there's going to be a lot of resources. Every resource I have for Staten Island, and as they get updated, it will update down below as well, right? But this is huge news for commuters, okay? Huge news. Now, let's talk train station. The train station will run on the east side of the island, meaning, remember we said north, south, east, west. East is down here. So if you said, hey, Al, I want to live by the train, you're not going to go over here because there is no train over here. There's one train. It does not leave the island. Fun fact, there are 2 stops in Tottenville. It is the only place that there are 2 train stops right here. So you see where our MTA, a little MTA, little blue balls, get it? Just kidding. Little blue MTA sign, that is the train station. So this is considered the east part of Staten Island, and that runs through, again, from Tottenville. That will take you all the way to the ferry. So you can technically, anywhere on the East Shore, jump on the train, can jump on the ferry and go right into work without any driving, anything like that. So basically, if you live on the East Shore or the South Shore, that train is going to be your lifeline to the ferry. All right, now let's do the express buses and a quick breakdown. If you're commuting to Manhattan, the X1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 are the most commonly used. Now, I have not taken a train since I was probably, 18, 19, maybe, to go into Manhattan. So I did do my due diligence on this, and obviously a lot of people do it, but I was not a train goer. I haven't been on a train in absolute years. But some of them do go uptown and downtown and midtown. But this is also why, if people do not drive or don't want to drive, why they care about so much where they live. So now let me just tell you something. Let's just stop talking about where we are for a second. If people work in Brooklyn or Manhattan, okay, they're most likely going to want to live in this section right here, and they probably will stop in Eltingville. Why? Because number one, if they drive any further, the commute is so much longer because there's traffic, right? Number two, this is just usually, it used to be here, the cutoff, but I'm seeing the cutoff right around here. You just don't want to go any further, and you'll be able to take that bus all the way down, right? Or that train all the way down. And that's just a fun fact. So houses in these areas tend to go much quicker. They tend to go much quicker, especially if they're priced right. Yeah. We're not going to get into the real estate side in this video. This is just so you learn about Staten Island. But again, we're going to break down every area all over again because it's... All right, but I do want to break down the areas a little bit just so you kind of know where we are, right? We have up here, North Shore, St. George, Stapleton, Snug Harbor, West Brighton. You're closer to the ferry. You have a lot of culture here, and you have the waterfront right here as well for all the actions, right? And it's probably the most like Brooklyn feeling spots of Staten Island because it's right here. Duh, Allison. Manhattan, Brooklyn, right? So this is, I want to say, the most Brooklyn feel. If you live on the North Shore, you would probably never live on the South Shore. And if you live on the South Shore, you probably never live on the North Shore. Even though it's the same island, it's just kind of two different sides of the island. This is definitely more cultural and more historical than the other side of the island, without a doubt, no questions asked. One thing I did forget to mention is we are the greenest borough. So everywhere where you see green, there are a lot of parks. But let's finish the areas, the quick breakdowns, and then I'll go into the parks. Okay, so that's the North Shore. Then we have Mid-Islands right here. Mid-Islands, your main points of transportation are going to be either driving the streets, right, or your expressways, or your buses. Remember, no train. The train runs East Shore right here, right? The train, remember the blue balls? Right here. So your Mid-Island, you have your Newdup, your Dungan Hills where I used to live, Grant City, Oakwood. Let's see, that's right around here. Dungan Hills, Toad Hill. This would all be considered your like Mid-Island section, right? So I was gonna put my hand on the screen, but you can't see it. So it's like this right here. This is like your Mid-Island. So right in the middle of the island. Then we have our South Shore. Let's just go all the way down to the South Shore. From the conference house all the way till, let's call it, Great Hills, Aspen Knolls. All of this right here is considered your South Shore. Eltingville, Huguenot, Princess Bay, again, Tottenville, Great Hills. This is the most on the island suburban living you're gonna get on the island, right? On the South Shore. North Shore is gonna be a little more closer. I'm not saying that there's not, like, let me take a step back. How do I say this? I'm not saying that there's not great living in each area. There is. I'm just saying that if you want a little more land, it's still the city, right? Land is going to be, you're not getting acres in Staten Island. So if you want to get acres, we'll go to Jersey. But you are getting more greenery on the South Shore than you are on the North Shore, right? The North Shore, again, is more cultural and more, what's the word? Not as green, besides the parks, I guess, because there is a lot more industrial. And I mean, and you could just see that right on the map, see? Less green, although Staten Island Zoo is on the North Shore. And on Wednesdays, it is free for kids, not for adults. But you see how, like, the greenery, there's just more greenery on the South Shore. And then there is a section called the West Shore. I know somebody's gonna say, what about the West Shore? Nobody calls it that. The only people who's ever said the West Shore is, why aren't I talking about it? Because there's really nothing to talk about. It's more industrial, it's commercialized, big box stores, warehouses, Amazon. It's not residential, but it's huge for jobs in Staten Island economy. So that's why it's important. But you're not gonna be like, hey Al, I wanna move next to Amazon. Like, there's no residential there. And that's like right over here. All right, so let's zoom out. I want to show you the beaches. So Staten Island has one boardwalk. I lived in Dungan Hills. So I lived on, where did I live? Okay. I lived on the hospitals here. Oh, 3 hospitals on Staten Island. Staten Island North Shore. So there's a North Shore on the North Shore. And then there's a South Shore on the South Shore. Both of them on the east corridor below Highland Boulevard. I don't know if we discussed Highland Boulevard. If we did, I'm going to just explain it again quickly. Highland Boulevard runs your entire island. The train station. So the train station is a couple blocks above. Highland Boulevard is a couple blocks down. They correspond to each other, which is fantastic because buses, trains, it's right there, okay? Again, that's why this side is just, for me, so popular. Okay, so I lived on Liberty Avenue right here. Hi, old house. I lived right here in a townhouse for 28 years, my entire life, okay? Down here, when I used to go to the boardwalk, Father Capitano is the boardwalk. You can park and ride there. A lot of buses go down there, so people will drive their cars to the buses. Let's see how much further does it go in. Okay, so there are parking lots throughout the entire strip. So let's go from the front of Father Cap. See, like, all of these fields? There are park and rides through all of them. I actually have an old video of the boardwalk still on there. I'm not gonna update that because that hasn't updated yet. So just go check out that video, and I walk through the entire boardwalk. Let's see. Lots of baseball goes on here, right, guys? There's just a lot of sports. The Vanderbilt, people have weddings here. The food is phenomenal. The newest thing down here, let me see, where is it? Is this? Where are we? Are we back? I'm sorry if I'm like back and forth. I just want to make sure I get it all right for you. Before I moved, they built this. It is 2 floors. It was when I was there, it was a gym downstairs, and upstairs was an actual running track area. There was also like horses over here. There's turkeys on Staten Island. They all come from over here. Like they literally live all right here. It's very fun, unless the turkeys get in your way. You actually cannot hurt the turkeys. Like, you can't hurt them. You will, I think you go to like turkey jail or something, but you can't hurt them. Okay, let's back out. Where's my boardwalk? Right here. Is this my boardwalk? We're a fishing pier. Why is my pier not? There is a fishing pier. Why is it not? Because it's right here. My fishing pier is right here, but I thought it had the, all right, well, it doesn't. Okay, so this is your fishing pier. In the summertime, there's an ice cream truck that just hangs out right here. There's a lot of playgrounds. They have updated all of the playgrounds throughout there, so they're all like, they're really nice to have sprinklers for the kids. And again, there's handball courts, basketball hoops. It's so much fun, especially again in the summer for the kids. Ice cream truck sits here. This is all the beach. They have lifeguards. You can go in the water. I know sometimes Staten Island has a bad rep that you can't, but you can. We're just used to going down to the Jersey Shore, right? I don't think I've ever went to the water here because I was just a Jersey Shore girl that, went to the Jersey Shore, but whatever. Okay, back to it. And again, my name is Allison Moreau. I sell homes in Staten Island and New Jersey, and we are doing a map of 2026 Staten Island, updating all the maps. Any questions you have, please leave below. My team or myself will be answering them and updating the information as it needs to be, seems to be fit. Also, another cool thing about the beach area is they have grills. So like, say you have a party and you want to do your kid's 3rd birthday party at the park. There's grills there. You can bring your hot dogs, hamburgers, have your friends there. There's tables. You'd have to probably bring some chairs and stuff, but you can have parties there, which is super cool as well. Now we're going to talk about 2 more things, and then we're going to wrap up this video. Number 1 is schools. There are schools located on the entire island. There's public schools. There's private schools. There is special schools, like for instance, medical assisting schools, stuff like that. I'm not going to talk to you about schools because I am legally, since I have a real estate license, I am not allowed to talk to you about them. So I'm not going to tell you if they're good, they're bad, they're happy, they're sad. But what I am going to do is I'm going to link any and all resources I can at the bottom for schools. And I'm not telling you this because there's many bad schools. There could be, all the schools are great. They're amazing. I'm not allowed to, and I'm not going to lose my license because somebody said a school is good or a school is bad. I'm just not going to do it. But I also my team and I created a PDF that will be very beneficial for you for all of the schools here and in New Jersey. So I'm going to just link all of that below. And again, they're all free resources for you. So we're really not going to touch much on the schools, but there are schools throughout the whole island. There's a Tottenville High School. Fun fact, Tottenville High School is not in Tottenville. It's a little bit over more There's public, private, all of that. So again, that's the reason I'm not getting into the schools, but schools across the whole island. Now for the fun. Shopping. Okay. Ow, ow. Okay. Shopping. I've been sitting for too long. Okay. And so no matter what part of Staten Island you live in, there's shopping in each part. Right? They just opened up another Target. There's a Target in the South Shore, North Shore, and Mid Islands now. There's one by the mall. There's, again, they're all over the place. So there is ample parking. A lot of the parking, you hear me, shopping. A lot of the main roads have a lot of shops on there too. Now, the only one place there is on Staten Island is there's only one Staten Island Mall. And that's in the middle of the island. I want to say it's been revamped for about 6-ish years now. And we just, in 2025, got a Hobby Lobby, and it's right by the mall as well. Let's see if is it in here yet? Let's see. That would be right. This is brand new. Okay, so you have, again, all food stores, Panera Bread, Angelina's Kitchen. There's a whole bunch of shopping just right in this area right here. Let's see, did this one update as well? Best Buy with Burlington Coat Store. So this used to be, oh my God, I'm showing my Babies R Us, right? I think it was Babies R Us, and then Bed Bath & Beyond was here. But again, this is one of the bigger shopping plazas because you have the mall here, and then you have all of these plazas surrounding the mall area, okay? The dine-in theater as well. Full disclosure, I have not been in the mall in years with my lifestyle, 2 kids, selling houses, working in 2 states. I'm an Amazon girl. I'm an Instacart girl. In fact, I just got a Costco order. My phone banged down. It's downstairs. So that's me. But you do have a lot of shopping in Staten Island, no matter where you are. And I'm pretty sure you just saw that there's a Target here too. I do Target. Target's actually the only store I go to with my daughter on Sundays. I'm like, hey girl, let's buy you something. Let's do a coffee for me, because that's kind of our thing since the second baby came, but whatever. We're talking about real estate, just, giving you a little insider tip. Mamas, it works. It works. Okay, so there you kind of have it. This is the rundown of the island. So what did we learn today? We learned that there's 4 ways in, 4 ways out. No, you probably shouldn't swim from one side to the other, right? We learned that we don't have to do that. There are 4 bridges, trains, buses. You can drive. There's lots of shopping. If you never wanted to leave the island, you don't have to. Even closer, if you worked from home and you never wanted to even leave your area, you don't have to because of all of that shopping. So I guess we will wrap this version of the Staten Island 2026 map up, and I will see you on the outside. All right, there you had it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to keep you connected with all things Staten Island and Jersey living. Check out all of the resources we have in the comments. And obviously, if you're thinking about moving in Staten Island, relocating within Staten Island, relocating from Staten Island to New Jersey, I'm your girl. My team's the best. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.